Ms. Rajavi, dear prisoners, dear unfree inhabitants of Camp Liberty, we are by your side. We are thinking of all those in Iran, women and men alike. But what is very important, we have listened to a speech by a human rights activist. She has been fighting since 1972 for human rights in Iran and worldwide. This is a great encouragement. Quite often she is despised and cut out not only in Iran, but also outside of Iran as an authoritarian personality. You have listened to her, and I hope that this idea that she is an authoritarian personality has been thrown away, as the Secret Service of Iran has depicted her. No, on the contrary, she is a fighter for freedom, peace, and human rights all around the globe. Our thanks are extended to you, dear Ms. Rajavi. Now, what is the point today? It is about us too in Berlin. We must deploy our commitment to fighting injustice in Camp Liberty in the Middle East, and especially in Iran. We must increase our fight, our commitment, rather than asking ourselves whether this is the right thing to do, what we are doing here. No, it's more than opportune. It is the tenet of the day. It is a responsibility. Whoever remains silent becomes also responsible for the injustice that is going on. We are responsible not only for women's rights, but for human rights of all human beings all around the world that are endangered everywhere. And it is exactly this situation in the history of the world that brings it home to us. There is no time to wait. There is no way for appeasement. No, everybody must muster their forces to fight for the freedom that we enjoy in this country. I extend my thanks to the German delegation. I thank all those who have contributed to organizing this event, that we can come together here right at the center of Europe in Berlin. And so many important things have been said already. What is close to my heart today is that we must realize that human rights and the violation of human rights must never be accompanied by our silence. That would be a treason of human rights. And the danger is great. We as politicians, yes, we know, even democratic politics cannot work without compromise. But there are also foul compromises, and we must warn against those corrupt compromises. What is the price that has to be paid during those nuclear negotiations in front of what has been conjured up by Ms. Rajavi? Yes, I know. There are many prejudices, especially since 2013 and 14, there have sprung up new prejudices. We think that Islam is a violent religion. This has been proven wrong with very strong words. It has been rejected. And what is now on the agenda is fighting for democratic Islam, fighting for those objectives that were on the minds of those who fought in the Arab Spring and in Egypt. We should not Leave them alone in this fight. It is unknown how Ms. Rajavi and the Council of National Resistance, what they are committed to, by women and also by men. Let me insist upon this fact. It's about democratic Islam. It's about the recognition of human rights for all human beings, without any exception. The point here is the separation of the state and religion. It is against this unbelievable abuse that we are witnessing with reference to Islam, referring to Quran. It has been especially Ms. Rajavi that has brought it home to us once again. She has lived through it. She had to witness it. She fought against it. She lost everything. She got up to her feet again. She's continued fighting. She has encouraged us once again. Do not give up. That would be folly. It would also be tantamount to renouncing all those values that we have achieved in Europe and in parts of the world. That is the most important mission. As long as I'm standing here, I would like to make you acquainted with this most recent book that has been published recently in occasion. Women Against Fundamentalism, against intolerance, and for equality and equal rights, for enlightenment, for information, and for peace. Therefore, right now, it's the weapons that are speaking around the world. I call upon you. Weapons have never brought peace. They have never, well, they have led to stopping violence, but we must reach out for far more than just reaching peace only through weapons. That is your message. What I'm seeing in Camp Liberty, and that's what we have to consider today, the perseverance, the tenacity and the stubbornness with which you go through all this suffering. You give us hope, but we must also look at the world. We must hope that protection is given to you. Protection with those who come in freedom. It is a laughing matter if we have 150 refugees that we cannot bring to Germany. 2,600 people remaining in Camp Liberty need safe countries where they can live the same values that we live today. That must be our message to Camp Liberty, where there is much misery and much need. I would call upon you to read this book, where you can find all those things that you have just heard. Also will you find the 10 major points for freedom, right, and justice, for the strengthening of women. Again and again I see it, and quite often I hear women, even women, saying, you cannot do anything about it. No, I would reply to them, you can do a lot of things. We are not powerless. We are much more powerful than we might think. Yes, it is right that fundamentalism does not respect human life, that misogyny and enmity against women are the leading principles. Yes, but women have shown they can be stronger in Iran, in South Africa, in large parts of the world. And I'm sure once you have read this, be it in German or in English, you will be convinced of this fighting spirit. You will feel new strength and vigor day in, day out. You will no longer say, I cannot do anything. Human beings are not powerless. They are able to create something better. Not paradise, but something better. Thank you very much.